troubleshooting an overfilling Icemaker tray in an LG refrigerator. If your LG refrigerator's Icemaker tray is overfilling with water, this is usually the result of the home water pressure being either too high or too low. This video will cover checking and correcting the water pressure to the unit, as well as water pressure issues with custom Q, craft ice, and twist and serve trays. For reference, the water pressure for LG refrigerators without the water filter should be 20 to 120 psi. The water pressure for refrigerators with the filter should be 40 to 120 psi. A pressure test is an easy way to determine why the ice tray is overfilling. The best way to identify if the water pressure is too high or too low is with a measuring cup and a wristwatch. Here's what to do. Get a measuring cup and a wristwatch with a second hand or stopwatch function. Have someone hold the watch or stopwatch for you while you dispense water from the refrigerator for 8 seconds. If the water pressure is too high, you will have more than 8 ounces of water in the cup. In this case, the water pressure will need to be reduced. If the water pressure is too low, you will have less than 3.5 to 4 ounces of water in 8 seconds. This will create the same overfilling problem because the Icemaker uses water pressure to close the water fill valve. If the water pressure is too low, the valve will not close all the way and the water will go to the Icemaker tray. You will need to increase the water pressure. If the water pressure is too high, there are 2 ways to reduce it. The first is to partially close the home water valve that supplies the refrigerator. You may need to run the pressure test a few times to get the pressure in the correct range. The second way is to purchase a water pressure regulator from the hardware store and install it either before the house or before the refrigerator. If your water pressure is too low, contact a licensed plumber about installing a pressure pump to correct the issue. Be sure to advise the plumber what the water pressure requirements are for your LG refrigerator. If your custom Q tray is overfilling, this is usually the result of the size selector being set too high. The size selector can be used to accommodate water pressure. Each increase in size adds half a second to the amount of time the water fill tube is open. Locate the size selector and adjust the ice size down to decrease the amount of fill time to the Icemaker. The size selector is located on the Icemaker and has a button or a pinhole selector with an LED indicator to show the ice size. If changing the ice size fails to correct the problem, adjust the water pressure as described earlier. If the unit has the correct water pressure and it is still overfilling, repair service may be needed. Craft ice makers make ice balls in stages. If the water pressure is too high or too low, you will end up with ice balls that are stuck together in a bar, or ice balls with a round ring on the top from the mold overfilling. Adjust the water pressure to make sure it is within the correct range. If the water pressure is correct and the unit is still overfilling the ice mold, the unit may require repair service. If your twist and serve tray is overfilling, this is usually the result of the water pressure being too high. After you have corrected the water pressure, place a towel under the Icemaker tray to soak up any spilling water, then reset the Icemaker. After the tray rotates back into position, the water will fill the tray. Look for any overfill. If you do not see any, you have resolved the problem. If the unit has the correct pressure and is still overfilling, repair service may be needed. Please visit our Request a Repair page. For further assistance, you can easily find our contact information on the LG.com website. Go to the support menu to ask us more questions.